Postseason Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois.
30th of October, 2016, struck him out. There will be a game 6. Cubs win it 3-2.
42nd pitch in a career-long 2 2/3 inning effort. Aroldis Chapman rang up a 101-mile-per-hour fastball to strike out Jose Ramirez and give Cub fans, for the first time this weekend, something to cheer about, enabling them to go home happy and draw themselves another trip to Cleveland. Who wants to go to Cleveland? Well, the Cubs have wanted to go to Cleveland, as the magic number to win the World Series is down to 2. There is still work to do, but they are looking for a 3-game win streak. They are 1/3 of the way there after everyone wore their nails down tonight at Wrigley, and for those watching at home as well. As we take a look at Clark and Addison, Cubs fans filing out after this victory that gets them to within 3-2 of the Indians. And now, the pressure's still back on the Cubs, but a bit for the Indians as well as they go back home. And Cub fans, untie the knot in your stomach for around 45 hours or so until game number 6 in Cleveland on Tuesday night. Hi, everyone. Welcome in to Cubs Postseason Live, presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. Alongside Sierra Santos, I'm Chris Bowden.
I think everyone's down to the cuticle right about now with how that game was going. The Cubs were facing elimination at Wrigley, but they get it done. Cubs hoping to stay alive, force a game 6 in Cleveland. They needed a big performance from John Lester, and he looked good in the first. Leadoff man Rajai Davis. Lester gets him chasing, then Jason Kipnis swinging next, and Francisco Lindor. Have many seats. Lester strikes out the side on 13 pitches. Wrigley Field was amped up. Top 2, Lester gets some help from his defense. Carlos Santana pops one up to the right side. David Ross near the Indians' dugout. He bobbles it, but Rizzo is there. Nice teamwork between Grandpa Rossi and Rizzo. Next batter, Jose Ramirez with 2 out and nobody on. He crushes one deep to left. That's way out of here. Ramirez's first homer of the postseason. It's 1-0 Indians. Top 3, more Cubs defense. Bauer flies one to right. Hayward over near the stands, jumps, makes a great catch. Hayward climbs the wall somehow. He makes a great play. Bottom 4, Chris Bryant at the dish.
You've got to put something on the board right here. Hits one into left center. At the wall, and it's gone. Tie game.
KB gets the Cubs on the board, and that seemed to spark the offense. Next up, Rizzo smokes one to right. That's over Brandon Guyer, and off the ivy. Rizzo slides in with a double, then Ben Zobrist rips a single to right. Rizzo is held at third. Cubs have ducks on the pound and nobody out. Russell already with a single, chops one into third. Ramirez, he has no play. Rizzo scores, everybody safe. Cubs take the lead. First time this series, the Cubs have had 3 straight hits. Next, Baez, who has struggled all this series, this time simplifies his approach, lays down a perfect bunt that loads the bases for David Ross. Rossi comes through with a sac fly to left. Zobrist scores easily. It's 3-1 Cubs.
So that means John Lester is facing the shutdown inning after the Cubs give him some support. But in some trouble, Carlos Santana lifts one to right center. That gets down into the gap for a double to lead things off. But he gets the next 2 men out, Lester does. Brandon Guyer with Santana on third. Full count, Lester paints the corner, the outside corner. Then Roberto Perez grounds to short. Lester works around the leadoff double, allowing no runs, and he is pumped up to keep it 3-1. Top 6, Indians have something going again. Rajai Davis on first. You knew that they would run against Lester. Ross can't hang on to that one. Lindor up now with 2 outs. He lines one to center, and Dexter Fowler can't make the play. Davis scores to pull the Tribe to within a run. Then Lindor tries to steal. This time Ross with a great throw, and Javi Baez, the tag that we've seen a couple times previously in this postseason. Some quick handwork to get the out. Baez makes it happen, and then Lester and Ross with a moment afterwards. Perhaps the last 2 times they'll play together. Top 7, after a leadoff single by Mike Napoli, Joe Madden goes to Aroldis Chapman. 2 on, he blows the heater by Ramirez. 2 down, then he gets Perez. to ground out. Chapman comes in and closes the door on that 7th inning, but still work to do. First of all, in the bottom half, Cubs with a chance to add on. Zobrist, 2 on, 2 out. Cody Allen gets him to pop out to short, Cubs strand 2, and come up empty. So to the 8th now. Chapman in some trouble here. Davis grounds to Rizzo, who makes the great play, but Chapman does not cover first. Huge mental error there by Chapman, putting himself in a bind after Davis stole 2nd and 3rd. Lindor up with 2 out. Chapman, the perfect pitch on the corner. Lindor knew it, and Chapman is able to escape the jam and work out of it. So we then go to the 9th.
Madden stays with Chapman to close it out against the heart of the Indians lineup. First, Mike Napoli, he grounds to short. Easy play for Russell. It's 1 down. Next, Carlos Santana. He flies out to right. It's Hayward who's there underneath. He takes care of it. 1 out to go, and that would be it. The 101-mile-an-hour heater blows right by him. 44 pitches is Chapman's career high. Before that, he had gone 2 1/3 innings earlier in the season, also against the Indians. And we go now live on the field to Kelly Kroll with David Ross.
Well, David, what can you say about the way the guys played for you here in your last game at Wrigley Field?
I think everybody's trying to make me cry tonight. I don't know. What a great night. What a great atmosphere. I couldn't wait to get behind the dish the last 2 nights, sitting the bench and seeing this atmosphere. I couldn't wait to play in it. It's been so much fun. John Lester, you know, this guy is I don't know. I don't even have words. What a great person he's been to me and my career and how he's helped me out. And, you know, everybody talks about me bringing winning. That dude brought winning here. He's the one that, you know, they gave that money to pitch in games like tonight. And I love hearing that Go Cubs Go song after that W.
Brag about him a little bit more. Assess his performance, the tone he set for you guys tonight, and just what he means to this team at this time of year.
What a great, I mean, he set the tone, coming right at him, throwing strikes, punching out the night to start the game. I probably got a little greedy with too many fastballs in there to Ramirez, so that's probably on me a little bit. And then just battling, holding runners for me, giving me a chance to throw guys out. And, you know, Lindor got that 2nd run in for him with that fastball up. But what a great performance from him. He's been the guy we've leaned on all year. He set the tone tonight, and it's a lot of, you know, it's a lot of pressure, if you want to call it that, to come in this environment and you know, win or go home, and these guys stepped up to the plate.
You also got the offense rolling, but I want you to talk about what you saw from Aroldis Chapman tonight, an 8-out save on this stage. He's never been asked to do that before. I mean, and he closes it out for you guys. How big was that?
It's big, huge. It's a World Series, man. Everybody's doing things they're not used to doing, and you know, Aroldis pitching, he threw Napoli a changeup right there. You know, I wasn't expecting that, so he pitched tonight, which is really great to see. Wilson got him locked in. Some tough moments there, big pitches he had to make, and that's why he's one of the best in the game.
Well, David, we're going to let you go tonight. Congratulations on a big win here, but I hope we're doing a few more of these before the year's out.
Thank you, Kelly. Always a pleasure.
Guys, David Ross.
Well, after the last couple of nights when it was a quiet exit from Wrigley Field, I think things are a little bit more boisterous as you take a look at the intersection of Clark and Addison right now. Folks, you have to get to work in the morning. I don't know if that really matters right now, but obviously it's just the first of 3 steps the Cubs need. And ironically, in this postseason, the last 14 games prior to last night, it was the team that scored first that won the game. The Cubs scored first last night. Cleveland comes back to win last night's game by a final of 7-2. Tonight, the Indians scored first on that Ramirez home run, but then the Cubs put up that 3 spot in the 4th inning that would hold up. It all started as the Cubs needed to get going against Trevor Bauer before Cleveland could get to that bullpen. And the guy who ignited that 3-run 4th inning was Chris Bryant. 1 for 15 in the series before he led off with a home run and jump-started the attack, at least for that inning. And our Kelly Kroll caught up with Chris Bryant a short time ago.
Well, Chris, in a night where the season could come to a close, what impressed you most with the way your guys came out and played tonight?
I felt like we played the game like it was an elimination game. We just did our thing like we've been doing the whole year, and you know, I felt like we were more relaxed. I mean, I felt more relaxed, and then John doing a heck of a job, and then Chappie coming in. I think it was 7 outs. I mean, that's very gutsy, and you know, it was a huge win for us.
Discuss the fourth inning a little bit. I mean, you got things started, but then to have David Ross hit that sac fly on his last night here in Wrigley, and that run was the difference.
Yeah, I mean, we know how bad he wants to win the whole thing. We want to win the whole thing for him, and for him to do that, I mean, it was the difference. And I think of a couple bats this whole postseason where I think he did it in San Francisco, just having a really good at bat. Against a tough pitcher, and he's 39 years old and he's still getting it done.
From your vantage point, watching Aroldis Chapman do what he did there in the final few innings, how impressed were you?
Yeah, it was unbelievable. I mean, obviously, they were messing with him a little bit on the base paths, but for him to go out there and get all those outs, that's huge for us. I mean, his gutsy performance, and he came up huge for us.
Last but not least, Chris, can you describe just the mindset now as this series shifts back to Cleveland, and you've got Arrieta and Hendricks going for you guys?
I mean, we feel good about it. I mean, Jake, obviously, he's, bulldog. He's going to go out there and give us a really good game, and he's the Cy Young winner for a reason. So, and then you never know what happens in the Game 7, so hopefully we get there.
All right, Chris Bryant, thanks a lot for your time tonight. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Guys, big night for Chris Bryant and the Cubs as they are headed back to Cleveland. Let's send it back to you.
Thanks, Kelly. Chris Bryant, first Cubs player ever to hit a home run and steal a base in the World Series. Granted, it's a small sample size, okay? It's a great small sample size. Well, it's time to get interaction with the show. Get your mobile, laptop, or tablet ready to head over to csnchicago.com/vote. You don't need a special app. Just go to our website. We are asking you, who is your Game 5 MVP? Chris Bryant, Aroldis Chapman, John Lester, or could it be Addison Russell?
Who's your vote going to?
I say Chapman because I really didn't think that he was going to get that done.
Yeah.
2 2/3 innings, that is pretty impressive, something he has never done before in his career. That blew my mind.
Look at the influence we have there. It was like all even across the floor. Now look at the influence we have there. I have to agree, he was placed out of his comfort zone.
Exactly.
But, Joe Madden was setting himself up for a bunch of criticism by going to Aroldis Chapman that early. We've seen earlier in the postseason that it hasn't necessarily worked, at least the first time out. But then again, this time he was able to take the ball and finish things off. 2 2/3 innings, and his line, 1 hit allowed, no runs. He did hit a batter and struck out 4, including Jose Ramirez, to end the game right there. So the Cubs punching their ticket back to Cleveland with a 3-2 victory at Wrigley Field. You can hear the crowd out there now at Clark and Addison. It's going to be loud out there for a while as we now head over to Wrigley Field, and on that rooftop, our Luke Stuckmeyer is standing by with this report. Luke, take it away.
All right, there you go. The first World Series win at Wrigley Field in 71 years, and the fans are staying inside the ballpark right now, outside the ballpark by the marquee. It is absolutely packed with crazy Cubs fans. These aren't fans from inside. These are the ones outside that have been watching and hanging around. There's some W flags down there. Police keeping it under control, a perimeter here right around the ballpark. But way more fans than we've seen at the corner of Clark and Addison here the first 2 games at Wrigley Field that the Cubs lost. Cubs get the win tonight. They stay alive and force this World Series back to Cleveland and Progressive Field on Tuesday night. They've got to win 3 straight, and to do that, they'd be the first team to do it in the World Series since the 1985 Kansas City Royals came back from 3-1 to win it. But remember, this Cubs team 18 times won 3 games in a row this season, so it is something they have done many, many times this year. It's 1 down, 2 to go. Cubs try to get the next one with Jake Arrieta on the mound coming up on Tuesday night. Right now, Cubs fans just having a good time. Seems like everybody's under control out here at Clark and Addison, but it is shoulder to shoulder Cubs fans. You have police on horsemen blocking off Clark Street going north, but after that, the bars are starting to let out and fans are coming out. A great game by the Cubs today. The 4th inning was everything. That's where they get all 3 runs. Bryant breaking out of his slump with a homer, and then Russell and Ross coming through with some big runs. Ross's sacrifice fly, Grandpa Rossi comes through with the game-winning hit, is the way it turns out in this one. And then Aroldis Chapman, a guy who hadn't thrown more than 36 pitches all season. Joe Madden decides to take his starter Lester out after 6. Questioned by some people on Twitter. I wasn't sure myself it was the right move. Chapman eventually comes in and gets the job done, going 2 2/3 innings, throwing over 40 pitches and ending the game with a strikeout. Cubs win 3-2. This World Series is going back to Cleveland for Game 6 and maybe Game 7. Once again, everything seems under control at Wrigley Field. Just a lot of happy Cubs fans. They have finally won a game here at Wrigley Field. It's been a long time, 1945, since we saw a World Series win here in this ballpark. They're going to soak it in, enjoy it, and hope the Cubs can get 2 more. From up top on just above the marquee, Luke Stuckmeyer will send it back to you in the studio.
Luke, thanks very much. And of course, going back to Cleveland means the Cubs get Kyle Schwarber's bat back in the lineup. He managed just 1 pinch hit appearance over the 3 games here. And after 2 runs in 2 home games, the Cubs only score in 1 inning in this particular game, but the 3 in that 4th inning were just enough. It's kind of been their Achilles heel when they've hit some slumps throughout the season, albeit brief. It's when they've gone into hitting slumps. That has been the case here against this Cleveland pitching staff. They came in 5 for 37 with runners in scoring position, but tonight went 3 for 10. Chalk up 14 more strikeouts. They have struck out 53 times through the first 5 games of this series, but perhaps a little more thump in that lineup now that the series shifts to Cleveland, with Kyle Schwarber coming back in the lineup after not having that opportunity here. So they buy themselves a little bit more time in order to try and extend this series. And, of course, it'll be Jake Arrieta likely against Josh Tomlin. Everyone thinking that was the game that really got away Friday night. If they were going to do any damage with the wind blowing out, it was against Josh Tomlin. Well, that wasn't quite the case, as Tomlin and company were able to shut them out in that Cleveland bullpen. Once again, doing a terrific job tonight as well. Yep. 4 more shutout innings from them. So they were able to hold the Cubs in check. But so does Aroldis Chapman, and to a lesser extent, Edwards Jr. Doing the job out of the bullpen. It was Aroldis Chapman had to come and rescue him. But John Lester, in his final appearance, likely this season, although who knows if it comes to a Game 7, he could be called upon to come on in relief. But right now, the guy that they paid all that money to did a good enough job and was able to take care of business on his end.
And Terry Francona said before the game, his key to the game was to get the lead and let the Cubs face the relievers. He said, it's not rocket science. Well, they did that. They still won. Right. So let's go out to Terry Francona now, who recently just spoke to the media.
Okay, folks, we're ready to get started. Who has the first question for Terry tonight? Okay, Ken?
Terry, obviously know John Lester very well. What did you think of his performance tonight?
He was as advertised. I mean, you know, Ramirez with a really good swing, that, you know, because that's all we had to show for about 4 or 5 innings. And, you know, you kind of figured that we'd probably need more. He's really good, and a little bit like we've seen with Kluber, you get late in the year and he certainly doesn't shy away from competition.
What else? Allison?
Terry, in the 8th with the Kipnis and Lindor at bats against Chapman with Davis on, did you kind of see that as the main opportunity that you're going to have to come back, and what did you think about their at bats?
Well, I mean, we had another inning, and with Napoli, and no, I mean, you take every opportunity you can get. I don't think we ever, you know, if we don't score in the 8th, you know, we're just going to sack them up. That's, I mean, Chapman, I mean, that was a big ask, and he answered. That was impressive. I mean, kind of like what Andrew's done. He kind of did the same thing.
Richard?
So Terry Francona notching another blemish in his Sterling World Season record, 11-2 in the Fall Classic now.
Not too bad, but the Cubs are going to have to chip away and get 2 more and try and ruin another party for Terry Francona as a manager. That's going to wrap it up from our CSN studios. For Sierra Santos, I'm Chris Bowden. Thanks for joining us. Our bridge has been built. Let's head out to Wrigley Field as Cubs Postseason Live, brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois, continues with much more reaction, led by our David Kaplan and Todd Hollingsworth. Guys, take it away.
All right, thank both of you. All right, Holly, a magnificent win for the Cubs. It was a nail-biter. It was as intense out here as it gets, and I'm sure in millions of homes around Chicagoland, people who are biting their nails, but that's a huge win.
Well, huge win. Well, we live to play another day, Cappy. It's plain and simple.
Live to fight again.
That's exactly right. We've got a trip to Cleveland to work out tomorrow as we make our way out there. I mean, we're excited. This is what it's all about. You found a way to win a baseball game. You know, so much made about the offense, how it needed to pick itself up. A lot of times, it's the pitching that picks you up when the offense is struggling. What an incredible job John Lester did tonight. How about Aroldis Chapman? Are you kidding me? Above and beyond the call of duty tonight. Electric stuff. Came out first pitch of the ball game. He throws to Ramirez with a runner in scoring position. A slider. How about it, right? Didn't see 103. Said, you know what? I'm going to diversify tonight. I'm going to use both my pitches. Came out, I think somewhat unexpectedly. Went 2 2/3 innings tonight. Just a brilliant performance from Chapman. I said in the pregame to you, we need Chapman to be like Miller. He did it tonight.
Well, it's funny. During the game, you and I are upstairs, and I run to the bathroom, and a member of the Cubs front office is in there as Chapman's coming in the game. And my response to him is, okay, who's going to pitch the ninth? He said, Joe met with Aroldis and said, what can I get out of you? He said, Joe, you push me as hard as you want. I can give you 3 innings. I can do this. He said, you're sure? He said, I can do this. And the guy from the front office, who will remain nameless, said, we're going to find out. But Joe thinks he can pull it off, and he did.
Well, and that's the encouraging part about this as we, soon we'll make our way to Cleveland. You know that you've got Aroldis Chapman, and you can use him that long.
All right, that's brought to you by Xfinity. Here's Joe Madden. Take a listen.
It's something you can't normally do during the season without beating somebody up too badly. But I talked to Chappie before the game. He was aware of being ready in the 7th inning. So we had that all in play. Johnny did a great job. I just felt in talking to him that it was the right time to get him out. You know, he was pushing pretty hard there to get those outs with the base runners, etc. So before the game, it was my intention to use CJ as a bridge if we can to get to Chappie. And the Napoli-CJ matchup I like a lot, and it ends up being a single. But don't underestimate how important that play was that Zobrist made in left field, keeping him in single. A lot of times that would have turned into a double. That was a great play by Zoe. And then eventually we kept them from scoring. Chappie came in and done something I guess he's never done before. So yeah, there's all kinds of drama out there. When you have a guy like that that can pitch that many significant outs in the latter part of the game, it's pretty cool.
And all the way in the back to the right?
Hey, Joe, to follow that up.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Was your mindset that it's Chapman 8 outs or bust?
Oh yeah, it was. That was our best opportunity. I thought right now, based on the bullpen usage recently, he's kind of fresh. He hasn't been overused in the last part of the season, nor throughout the playoffs. So again, with him, like a lot of relief pitchers, late inning relief pitchers, you want to talk in advance of the moment. We did. So he was definitely aware of what may happen tonight.
And right here in the center?
Phil.
Joe, when Bryant and Rizzo hit the Bauer fastballs back-to-back, was that the offensive epiphany you were looking for?
Yeah, I loved it, man. It was, you can see what happened after that. They kind of put their pitcher on the ropes a little bit. We had better at-bats. We got our 3 runs. Yes, all that. That's kind of what happened in Los Angeles, where all of a sudden we got that one big blow. It's incredible what it does when you do that, what it does to your team and what it does to the opposition pitcher. It's just part of the game. So you have to be able to punch and counter punch all the time, and we were able to do that tonight. And the 3 runs held up beautifully.
And all the way in the back?
Joe, those of us that have been here all year know the deal, but for the nation to see what Anthony can do with the glove on the biggest stage, how vital has he been for your defense?
He had an incredible evening. The pop-up, the picks, the dive. If Chappie had covered first base, there would have been a lot less angst going on. He was outstanding. You're right. I mean, we talked about it before the game, the counterintuitive point about playing more defense tonight when we have to score runs, but we have to catch the ball to win. We have to. And we did. And I think Riz provides kind of like a security blanket for the rest of the infield. I mean, they know if they just get it in that direction, he's going to take care of it. And he did tonight once again. So he's been that complete player all season long, but he really highlighted his defensive prowess tonight.
And right here in the center, Richard?
Joe, you feel like you're going to have a happy Halloween now?
Yeah.
And then going to Cleveland for these games, these last 2 games, you feel like we got a real series now? Maybe a classic, something that's pretty special? Yeah,
I've never been looking forward to wanting to play the 7th game of a World Series in my life, So, yeah, we get to go over there with 2 rested starting pitchers. Again, from an entertainment perspective, if you're a baseball fan or looking to become a baseball fan, it was wonderful tonight, outstanding. But I like to believe we're going to gain some momentum from this game going back over there. Momentum is always based on your starting pitcher too, and well, again with these guys, you saw how good their bullpen was once again. It's really important to grab that lead and hold on to. We did.
And over here in the center again.
Joe, you're showing a lot of confidence in Edwards, considering he was the first reliever you turned to and the only non-Chapman reliever.
Right.
And how comfortable are you with him as this carries on?
I mean, very, very comfortable. I mean, it probably was not his best night overall. I mean, the velocity was down a little bit. He might have been a little bit taken by the whole thing, but I got to get him out there. He's the righty that can really get out lefties also, as well as Grimmer. Grimmer has been out there a couple times. He's done a great job all season. And again, he was the right guy. And then beyond that, I'm looking down the road. I mean, you get guys into these moments like this, an absolute growth moment for him. I really feel good about the next time we have to bring him out there. Now, I was hopefully getting at least 2 outs, maybe the whole inning, and then Chappie just got to get 6. But the fly out by Santana was very, very special to get that done. And, yeah, I felt good about it.
Any last couple for Joe? Yep.
Yes.
Bill, right here. And then in the back.
Joe, you mentioned rested starting pitchers going. Is this the exact kind of situation you managed Arrieta's workload for and pretty much your whole staff?
Exactly. We've been really aware of that. Even Johnny Lester. I mean, although Johnny he was the only one over 200, I think. But we attempted to do that from day one. Like I said, I had that conversation with Jake in spring training in the food room in Mesa. First time I saw him, and we talked, and I brought it right up immediately. So we've been on the same page, taking him out of games a little bit sooner. The good part about last year also was that he felt it. He knows what it feels like now, and he knew that it might be wise to do that or pragmatic for this year, and so we did. And then even Kyle. I mean, early in the season, Kyle, I pulled him out early. I just thought he was growing into it, and he did. And then eventually, he had a nice body of work. But going into this next game, I mean, Kyle had 85, I think, on his last outing. I can't remember. Jake was right around 100. So there really should be in good shape, good stead going to their next starts.
Okay, last couple for Joe, right here in the center
yes,
back.
Sir.
Chris obviously had the home run, but did you just see a better approach from him today?
Yeah, he got called down on a strike. Apparently, it might have been up, and I guess the one was down and away. I just like the fact that he wasn't just swinging at anything. I think that's what we all have to be able to do. That's the kind of thing that could get him rolling. There's no question about that. And then beyond that, I was just talking in the other room. We get to play an American League game now too, which I'm not an advocate of, but I'll take it right now. So we get to get Schwarber back in the lineup, and that definitely lengthens what we potentially can do.
And one last one here in the center middle.
Joe, can you talk about a player like Chris who comes in the major leagues and is very successful early on? He has to learn to adjust to the way, different pitching.
Oh, yeah. They come at him hard. Fortunately, we've been able to keep him in front of Riz, the whole year pretty much, I think. And, I mean, I'm really aware of protection. Now, they walk Rizzo to pitch to Zobrist. I was fine with that. I mean, I'm good with Zo hitting in that moment. But your lineup, again, is always about protection, and that's what I'm saying. Going into an American League venue now, being able to utilize Schwarber, all of a sudden those names get a little bit longer, gets a little bit thicker, and that's just the nature of the American League. So KB, they come at him hard. Rizzo, from the beginning of this postseason, everybody's been kind of pitching around him. That's just what's happening. So now we could do something possibly a little bit differently and see how it plays out.
Okay. Thank you, Joe.
You got it. Thank you.
All right, there you go. There's Joe Madden. Crowd is not dispersing. They are cheering every player as they come out for their media responsibilities. You can hear it in the background. For me, Holly, I'm just telling you, this is a night where the Cubs really fought through intensity.
Right.
They've struggled offensively. Cody Allen's out there. I mean, it was intense as I've ever been to a baseball game, as intense a sporting event as I've seen.
Well, it wasn't a perfect ball game, Cap. Cubs fans watched it. If you watched it at home, you know that this wasn't a perfect ball game. There were bad swings, bad at-bats. There's great defense, a couple of great base running, I thought, maneuvers. We stole 4 bases tonight. They changed up their game planning. I loved it. But again, that's what I thought tonight was going to be. This Indians team's not going to just roll over because they're going back home to Cleveland. they made this happen tonight. They played. The Cubs came out here and got a win, and it was a gut check.
All right, let's go back to the podium. Here is Russell and Bryant.
Did Anthony's ball right after that kind of open the floodgates just a little bit here to get the offense going?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, their guy was kind of cruising a little bit through the first 3, I think. So, yeah, it was nice to kind of have a big inning there, kind of get us going a little bit. And I felt like our at-bats, after that inning were just as good. So that's a good sign for us.
And again in the center here.
Chris, over here. Have you seen any different pitching approach in this postseason? I mean, guys, has it changed from team to team the way they're pitching you?
I feel like it's pretty similar. I feel like as a team, guys are, throwing us more curveballs. I don't know. I don't look into the stats. I don't know if we hit curveballs well, but, I mean, if they keep throwing them, obviously we don't. But, yeah, I mean, certain teams, are always going to pitch you differently, but nothing too crazy, from team to team this postseason. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not noticing anything, off the charts that's, right in front of my face that's glaring that, I should notice. But, yeah, it seems pretty similar.
And right here in the center.
Chris, Joe's talked the last few days about the importance of getting off to early leads against these guys, and they go up 1-0, and you're into the fourth, so it's starting to open that window when Marcona can go to his pen. When you come up in that inning, is there a sense of urgency that is with you when you get to the plate there?
Not crazy, not a crazy sense of urgency, but certainly we want to get, some runs there so that they're not going to go to, Miller and, Allen with the lead there. So, but for me, I wasn't going out there trying to hit a homer or any of that. It was have a good at bat, and, it's nice that I went over the fence. I mean, obviously I haven't been swinging it, the bat, too great, but it was nice to kind of get one to, kind of help us all out.
And here in the center field.
For Addison, Joe compared the fourth inning tonight with Chris's homer and then Anthony hitting the ball hard right after it to the fourth inning of the game in Los Angeles, Game 4. Did you flash back to that game at all? And could this be the same kind of a lift that gets your lineup rolling the rest of the series?
Yeah, somewhat. Thing is, whenever we get people on base and we don't have any outs, and we take some good approaches, some good at-bats in those situations, and we get people on, I think that we're a threat, You look down the lineup, we got people that could put up great at-bats through the whole lineup. If you put the ball in play, you have a better chance, obviously. I think tonight a lot of people's approaches was, just to put the ball in play.
And all the way in the back.
This is for both of you. Very few teams have come back from 3-1 deficits to win a World Series. So I'd like to get both of your thoughts about going to Cleveland and trying to defy the odds. Chris?
Why not us? I mean, that's kind of our, I feel like we play our best with our backs up against the wall. So, we went out there today, took care of business. Hopefully we can get out there and win Game 6 because, you never know what can happen in a Game 7. So, but we're all about writing our own history. This team is a special one, and we look at so many times throughout the year where, we haven't been playing good, but I feel like, we turn that around. I saw something, I don't know, someone told me today that, 17 times this year we lost a game and we went on to win 3 in a row. So why can't we do that now?
And Addison?
Yeah, KB hit the nail on the head. We're writing our own history. We're making history. Why not stop? This is entertaining to us. It's fun, and we live for this. So we see a lot of challenges ahead of us, and we embrace them. That's what we've been talking about since spring training, I think since 2015. So that's kind of like the mindset we've had, and we definitely have embraced that.
Okay, any last one? Phil, right here.
Just for both of you guys, what did you think about watching what Chapman did to finish it off and go that deep, that long, 8 outs?
is good to see. I mean, you see him mostly in the ninth, but he works hard. We know that he has those type of outs and those type of outings in him. Tonight, he was lights out, coming in, I believe the 7th, and then shutting it down. So he's a good thing to have in this ball club.
Me too. Yeah, it's a pretty gutsy performance there. I mean, considering the circumstances there, I think, I forgot where there's, the step off. There's a lot of stuff going on. There are guys trying to get in his head, but, he just went out there and did his thing. And, I think that reason right there is exactly why we got him.
Okay. Thank you, gentlemen.
Yeah.
All right, there you go. So, again, it is a crazy environment here because this was the last baseball game of the season in this ballpark, and now there's 2 games left potentially to win a world championship. And you saw the players come out, thank the fans, wave to them. I mean, they were so fired up. The fans are still in here, and it's going to be an intense game in Cleveland on Tuesday. But you've got Jake Arrieta on the hill who already won there.
No doubt about it. The interaction with the fans, which has absolutely been spectacular. So many of the Cubs fans still here, at Wrigley Field, right over the dugout, right over us right now. Part of what's going on here is thank you for winning this ball game. Thank you for getting us to a Game 6. We're going to send you on your way with some good thoughts and some good vibes. That's exactly what these guys are doing. They're sending these players out of here feeling good about what just happened tonight and what's about ready to happen in Game 6.
The other thing, if you missed it, Joe Madden said that he is encouraging his guys. They will fly tomorrow, not tonight. He said, it's Halloween. I'm encouraging you to go in costume.
Right.
I think that's awesome.
I think you and I should go in costume.
Yeah, exactly.
What do you think?
Sports Talk Live tomorrow in costume. All right? That's unbelievable. Fans are here. This is about the 10th rendition of Go Cubs Go that they're singing themselves. So it was really interesting. There were so many key plays. The play, I thought you made a great point when we were up in the box upstairs. There was a throw out on Lindor on a steal, and you said, I don't know of many second basemen that would have caught the ball, let alone caught it and got the tag down.
Well, and by comparison, you go back to the one where Kipnis had the opportunity to do the exact same thing, and Jason Kipnis was not able to actually pull it off. I mean, our guy, Javi Baez, boy, oh boy, he'll throw himself in there with any throw and get that tag down. Absolutely outstanding. Huge part of the game because you keep that runner out of scoring position against Napoli, who has numbers against Leicester.
And Zobrist cutting off the Napoli.
That was the next inning, but absolutely amazing. Right, Ben did a fantastic job playing left field tonight, getting over there and keeping Napoli to a long single.
All right, quick timeout. We're going to try and grab some players as they go by as well. So stick around. Don't go anywhere. You're watching Cubs Postseason Live on CSN.
Cubs Postgame Live is presented by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. Through it all.
Make sure he's in bed by 8.
Sometimes I get scared.
Scared of what, Danny?
The things I can't see.
Got a weird feeling. Almost forgot. In case anything happens.
Dad, I got this.
The Anthony Rizzo Family Foundation and the Bono family have teamed up to knock cancer out of the park. Order your Italian beef the Rizzo way, and Bono will donate to my charity. I'm proud to be working with the Cubs and the Bono family, 2 Chicago originals.
Order it the Rizzo way at your local Bono restaurant.
When my hair is too long, I don't feel right. But when I get a cut, I'm me again, only better. My tattoo gets feistier. My crazy eye snaps to attention. I become my own Wi-Fi hotspot.
I just downloaded the entire internet.
And trust falls? They don't even scare me anymore.
That pomade really broke my fall.
Get in, get out, back to greatness. Download the online check-in app. Great clips. It's gonna be great.
Hit every mark. Thread every needle. Turn every ride into a thrill ride. The power and precision of the Lexus Performance line. Now available with turbocharged engines for even more exhilaration. Lease the 2016 IS Turbo with zero due at signing for $399 a month for 36 months. See your Lexus dealer.
This Cubs injury report is brought to you by ATI Physical Therapy, taking physical therapy to a higher level. Ask your doctor about ATI Physical Therapy. Get there.
For the most Cubs coverage, go to csnchicago.com. Brought to you by Wintrust.
All right, welcome back on Cubs Postseason Live. Cubs are moving back to Cleveland, hopefully for 2 more games. But Game 6 will be played on Tuesday night at Progressive Field. And don't forget, we'll be broadcasting Sports Talk live from Cleveland tomorrow. He's Todd Hollingsworth. I'm David Kaplan. Crowd is still here. Everybody's so excited. That home run for Chris Bryant was just so massive, not only in the context of the game and tied the game, it was in the context of relaxing him.
Well, I think it was absolutely a great point. He relaxes. He comes through in a big moment right there, gives the team the lead. He takes a deep breath and said, you know what? There's the barrel of the bat. I found it again on a pitch that I can handle, a fastball in the zone, and he does damage right there. Great swing of the bat right there. Goes on, takes a big walk, steals a base. Good at bats tonight from Chris Bryant. I expect and would almost assume that it's going to carry right over into Game 6. Sometimes when you get that one, that felt like that one that gets you going.
And it's not just a bleeder single. You got a game-tying home run in the World
huge,
Series.
Absolutely huge. Great swing of the bat right there, and it was a big moment. Even though it was early in the ball game, I mean, it got a roll. I mean, you saw how everybody responded. He homers, base hit, or a double, base hit right after that. I mean, Fowler had been dealing, I think, surprisingly to many of us. Goes through the first 3 innings, just shredding up the Cubs, 5 strikeouts. And again, I think that's what actually got him into the 4th inning. So there you go, huge moment right there.
Chris. Hey, we got Chris right now. 30 seconds. All right. What's going through your mind? We were just talking about how massive the home run was, not just for the team, for you as well.
Yeah, it was huge for me, but more so for the team. I think it was nice to kind of get things started there. Being down early, it's never fun, especially in a World Series game. I think we've been there before with them, so it's nice to come out here and get a win finally for these fans here, and they deserve it. So hopefully we can go to Cleveland and get things done.
You guys dug deep tonight. There's no doubt about it. 4 stolen bases in the game, big hit by you. You guys, your game seemed a little different. You guys actually seemed a little looser tonight. Do you expect that in Game 6?
I think we should. I mean, it'd be nice to carry that over and play the same way. I mean, a lot of stolen bases, putting pressure on them. They've been doing it to us,
right.
So give it right back to them. So, our pitch is great. John, Chappie, that was an unbelievable performance. 7 outs. I mean, for a closer, that's pretty special.
All right, are you going to wear a costume tomorrow? I know Joe said it's Halloween.
It's Halloween. I got to worry about other stuff, man.
Exactly.
But, I'm sure some guys will show up dressed pretty ridiculous.
You travel safe, and thanks.
Appreciate it. Thanks, Chris. All the best.
There you go. All right, now let's go back in the clubhouse. Here is Anthony Rizzo.
It's unbelievable. Just gutsy. Told me his big cojones. So, it's we needed that. Obviously, we lose, we go home, but boys are feeling really good right now.
Were you surprised that he came in that early? Offensively, defensively, pitching tonight.
We had the big inning, and we know we could always have an inning like that. Chris starting us off with the home run was beautiful, and us scoring and manufacturing a few more runs was nice there, and it paid dividends.
Can you talk about just what this game meant? Obviously, this is one of those games where it was literally a must-win game. We sometimes say it is, but this really was. You come through, you survive.
Oh yeah, that's what it's about. We leave it on the line. Whatever it took, whatever it takes. Chappie going out there for 6 innings and doing what he did, whatever it was. So Lester grinding his way through. It was big for us.
How do you drew with having that foul ball?
You know what? The ball was moving so much up there. It was swirling, and I just told him I couldn't even call it. That's how just focused I was on that ball. And there he's going for it until I call him off, and I kind of went mute on him. So good thing it worked out.
Anthony, obviously you needed this one to get back to Cleveland. Now that you're going there, what are your thoughts on hopefully doing what you want to do over there?
I mean, we got to go on another 1-game win streak on Tuesday. We got to sell ourselves and do whatever it takes to win, and jump out to an early lead would be the best thing for us. But we feel good. We're obviously happy right now, but we'll gear it up for Tuesday.
How surprised were you that Chapman came in so early?
I really can't even say I was. I'm sure him and Joe talk, and he lets him know that he's ready to go and leave it all on the line. And that's what everyone knows is we're just going to leave it all on the line and really just leave it out there.
But after the homer by Chris and the result of it, and that's kind of turns around for him. He's really been struggling this series.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he's really been struggling. Maybe not getting the results, but his at-bats have been good, and he's taking his walks. So to get that, to tie the game up, we're down there 1-0 in an elimination game. So to tie the game up was the biggest run of the game for us.
Can you talk about just the emotion of tonight, though? The ballpark seemed electric. I'm sure in an elimination game in the World Series, you're amped up a bit more. The team's amped up a bit more. What did all this mean?
I mean, a lot of people in Chicago have not seen a World Series win in 71 years. So I'm sure it's emotional for everyone. It's emotional for us. Seeing Rossi each at bat, just talking to him before the game, trying to just hold it all in because this could be his last start, and that at bat, it's all. We love each other, and like I said, we're just gonna leave it out there.
Considering what was at stake in this game, David Ross said you were keeping everybody loose before the game with the Rocky thing. What was going on?
I just pulled it all out. Got to pull out the inspirational underdog. We're saying we're going the bout now. We got to go the distance, and put some speeches in here, some motivational stuff. Just little giants, that one time. So we got to keep it loose, and I feel like we played a good game today.
How about so much scratching and clawing tonight to do what you did, every run on board, every out board. Talk about David Ross. How about that sacrifice by that at battled that, and again, obviously such a key run there.
Yeah, it's a big at bat. He's down 1-2, I know he has 2 strikes on him, and he chokes up. He puts his B swing on there and puts the ball in play, and good things happen when that happens, and we got that run.
How confident now you have Arrieta going the way he pitched and battled there last week, and now you're also getting Torver back as well. That should be a nice spark for you guys.
Yeah, it's we're always confident, and we get to see Tomlin now a second time on short rest. So I'm going to convince myself and throw it out there again that he's not going to be as sharp, and we'll leave it all out.
And Schwarber, that's always
Short, yeah, but he's back, and I'm sure he's chomping at the bit to be in the lineup.
You played it fourth. You thought that was gone. I assume you did that well.
Yeah, I did, and then I realized it wasn't, and so I had to get on the horse there a little bit.
In that Chapman, play that Chapman did cover first. Did you say anything to him, or you just felt bad?
No, just kind of slowed everything down there, and it's a tough play. I don't think he saw the ball right off the bat well, and anytime a righty hits one like that, it's not easy.
You did call him.
What's that?
That's how I make plays.
It was a lucky one.
How much difference do you think Schwarber could make, whether it's his actual bat or inspiration?
Don't touch his stuff. Don't touch his stuff. I'm just kidding.
That was good.
He's gonna have big at bats for on Tuesday, and he's gonna be ready for it, and he's got all of our confidence behind him.
All right, time for our Maristar Casino Hotel pitching recap, and it was a good battle. Trevor Bauer actually pitched very, very well at the start of this ball game. Till the fourth. We thought he would probably only go one time through. He got a little deeper than that. John Lester, gutty, gamer, outstanding. And then they pulled him and went to Chapman after Edwards. And it was like, holy smokes, here we go. Buckle your chin strap.
Well, yeah, I thought John Lester did a fantastic job. Did everything that was asked of him. Obviously, you see the long home run that gives up to Ramirez. That's part of the game of baseball. You can't walk into games like this and expect perfection. You don't. There's going to be holding the deficit as he did early on. Brian gets the home run right there. Then he got handed the lead. And he pitched out of a couple jams. Gave up a leadoff double in the follow-up inning, the top of the fifth right there, and worked out of it. I thought that was the pivotal point of the game. Think about this. Santana comes up. Cubs erupt, right? And we've talked about this, holding the lead. We finally got a lead. Santana hits a double to right center field, and you know what he does? Pitches his way right out of it like he's done so many times this year. Brilliant performance. huge moment in the ball game right there, I thought, for the Cubs. And then obviously, as you said, go to Edwards and you go to Chapman after that. So just big moment from John. Fantastic performance tonight. Again, probably wanted to stay in a little bit longer. You're asking me, is he going back out for the 7th? I thought, he's towing the line right now. I think that Napoli matchup probably scares Joe a little bit, but just because the numbers were so strong. But again, job well done from John.
Job well done from John. Exactly right. He really, I thought, was gutty. He was tough. When he had to make a big pitch in a big spot, he was able to do that. So there's our Ameristar Casino Hotel Resort. John Lester at the podium right now.
Well, I mean, actually, I told Boz after that 6, I'd been kind of grinding for the last couple innings. So, just from pitch 1, knowing kind of the circumstances and what was going on, I had to be perfect from pitch 1. Had to execute, couldn't make mistakes. Really the homer that I gave up was really good pitch. The guy, put a good swing on. So, so it had been a grind. The 2 previous innings leading up to the 6th, and I told them, and they're like, "Hey, you're going to go batter to batter," and for me, my whole thought process behind that is why not just give our guys a clean inning? Why let me go out and face a guy that if I give up a hit or a walk or whatever, you're going to pull me anyway, and now you put him in a situation. So I left it up to Joe, and Joe made a decision, and that was the decision. So I'm happy it worked out for us.
And in the center towards the back?
John, kind of following up on that, is that sort of a testament to stressful pitches being more important than maybe overall pitch count in the postseason?
100%. I mean, that's one thing Joe's been pretty good at this year with us is, watching the game, paying attention. And especially this time of year. I mean, every pitch. You're up 3-1, it's different. You're down 3-1. You gotta. It's a grind. I 0-2 pitches that I'm trying to throw right on the black, and first pitch you're trying not to throw down the middle, and all this stuff. I mean, you're just grinding from pitch 1. You're trying to make the perfect pitch every time, and at the same time still be aggressive. So, yeah, I mean it's a grind. I mean that's what postseason. That's what makes it fun. At the same time, because I know, hey, I gotta be locked in order to get through this lineup a couple times. So I'm just fortunate enough to get through that a couple times with just a couple runs and still keep our team in the lead there.
And over here in the left, Ken.
John, it seemed like there were a couple of pitches you really wanted for strike 3, Geyer in the 5th, Kipnis in the 6th, and then you proceeded to strike those guys out anyway. How hard is it to stay locked in after a short-term disappointment?
Well, I mean, I just go back to what I'm saying. You're trying to execute every single pitch on the black and make sure you don't make any mistakes. And I thought Tony did a great job behind home plate tonight. I thought it was, a really good zone for both hitters and pitchers. He was very consistent. He called the high strike, consistently through the game. And I mean, that's all both sides really ask. As a hitter, you want to know the zone. And as a pitcher, you want to know the zone. You know where you can go. And, we ended up coming back to those guys and making good pitches and ended up getting them out. So that always makes things better when you're able to come back and get them out.
And any more for John? Oh, Ken again, go ahead.
How would you feel about coming out of the bullpen game 6 or 7?
Hey, whatever we got to do. I mean, this time of year, there's no barriers. There's no nothing. I mean, it's all hands on deck. I love our bullpen. I love what these guys have done. But if there's a matchup in there that Joe likes, I'll be ready. We got guys like Chappie and Strope and Ronnie and Woody and all, list goes on. They've done it all year for us. So I have no doubt that they'll continue to do that for us. Hopefully Jake can give us another great start like he did in Cleveland. And we'll see where we're at. We'll keep going.
Last one for John. All right, Aroldis Chapman is here. Oh, there's one in the back? All the way in the back side. Thank you.
Not that.
Better eyes than I do.
I really.
With your season on the line there, I was wondering what the last 3 innings were like for you, and what was it like to watch what Chapman was able to accomplish?
Well, I mean, like I said, I mean, from the fourth on. It's 3 innings there. It's a grind. You're just trying not to, you try not to allow base runners. You try not to allow, the big swing. You're staying on the edges, and sometimes that can get you in trouble. But we were able to keep throwing strikes and kind of put them on the defense a little bit. And then, Chappie coming in and doing what he's been doing for us since he came over here, and even before that, it's pretty unbelievable to see. This guy's used to just getting 3 outs, and he goes 2 2/3. So that's a huge uplift for our team. He was fired up. We were all fired up to get through that against a good team, good fastball hitting team, regardless of how hard you throw. So that was huge for us. That was unbelievable to see him do that, bite the bullet and do it. Hopefully the off day will help him, and he'll be ready to go in Game 6.
All right. Any last one that I'm not seeing? All right.
All right, time for our CSN fan poll question. Go to csnchicago.com/vote. No special app, no cost to you. Here is the question. Who is your Game 5 MVP? Bryant, Chapman, Lester, Russell. I know where I'm going. Aroldis Chapman, for me, wins this 100% to nothing.
Yeah.
What he did was phenomenal.
Let's put it to you this way, unexpected. And I think that's the right way to talk about it. Chris Bryant even said, wow, what a job Aroldis Chapman ends up doing coming into the ball game and then going longer than he ever has as a Cub, certainly. 40 pitches, brilliant. Again, we talked about this in the CS and a little bit here in the World Series, using that fastball somewhat too much. I thought he used his slider tonight effectively. It wasn't great, but again, it was purposeful. He used it at the front end. The first pitch he threw tonight was a slider, and I thought, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. Get the Cleveland Indians to respect it now. At least I'll throw it at the front end of the count. It may not be a purpose pitch, but it puts it in the back of a hitter's mind, and I just thought it was a strategic move on his part.
He threw it to Kipnis as well.
Well, and I got no issues with that. That's a lefty on lefty. But, I mean, when you use it against a righty there, it puts you on point. They can't just go up there and sit on your 102 miles an hour. I've said it time and time again. Hitters will make adjustments, and we watched some hitters this postseason make adjustments against Chapman. Brilliant job throwing that first pitch slider right there. They had to respect it. They had to say, okay, he'll throw it. And you know what? That 102 looks like 105 when you have to respect that slider.
And he really did an amazing job. It was funny. I was following some social media and text chain with some of my buddies from radio, and everyone's like, oh, man, can he do this? And Joe Madden said, I asked him, he can do it. Let's try it, and he did.
You know when I knew he had it? You know when I knew it? Was when they were panning into the dugout. We were all looking into the dugout, and he was smiling with his helmet on. That's when I knew the ninth inning was going to go smooth. I absolutely did. I didn't see stress. I didn't see tension. I didn't see worry. I saw, this is kind of fun, man. I got my helmet on, and I'm going to get the hit here before I go out there. Now, got to work on the hitting a little bit, but we'll go from there.
We'll get to that. All right, quick timeout. We'll come right back. May have another guest for you. Be right back on CSN. The Chicago Cubs are in the World Series, and Wrigleyville Sports is the place for all your official gear. World Series t-shirts, sweatshirts, and the official locker room cap worn by the team. Champagne not included. Pins, flags, collectibles, and toys for Cubs fans of any age. Everything you need to celebrate the Cubs' first pennant since 1945. Visit our store across from Wrigley Field or WrigleyvilleSports.com now.
Call you back. Is this my car?
State Farm knows that for every one of those moments,
This is ridiculous!
there's one of these.
Is this my car? What? This is ridiculous.
This can't be happening!
This can't be happening.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart.
Oh, it's happening, sweetheart. Shut up.
Shut up!
That's why State Farm is there.
What a day.
With car insurance for when things go wrong.
What a day!
But also here with car loans to help life go right. State Farm.
You know the feeling. The rush of every roll, every flip, sip, bite, note, and night. You know the feeling. Get it at Ameristar.
Your mommy knows where to find great Nissan savings. At Arlington Nissan, get great customer service, selection, and savings.
during our Savings Spooktacular. Lease a 2016 Rogue S for just $149 a month with $29.95 due at signing.
Bob Rohrman.
Bob Rohrman's Arlington Nissan, just east of Route 53 on Dundee Road.
All right, check out celebrity tweets after this dramatic Cubs win. There's Amy Schumer tweeting at the game tonight. I saw John Travolta here tonight. I was like, what? Cristiano Felicio of the Chicago Bulls with a tweet. John Cusack, of course, he's at every game. Lance Briggs, our own Lance Briggs from CSN, former Bears standout linebacker. Nick Auberman, whoever the heck that is, I don't know. I'm going to, as they give to me, I'll give you. And the mighty Bob Newhart, who was at the games in Los Angeles in the National League Championship Series. So, very cool. Clear Choice Dental Implant Centers, play of the game. Chris Bryant home run, gotta be. All right, here comes, hold on a second.
Rossi, couple minutes? Okay, no worries, no worries. Okay, thank you. Want to get John?
John,
2 minutes?
1 minute? 1 minute? Oh, you're the best.
Thank you, John.
John Lester, right now.
You're the best.
All right, you can hold your.
I'll hold your beer for you.
I got my Gatorade. Congratulations.
It's all right with us.
Yeah. John, this was the type of game that you signed here for, this emotional moment here. What's going through your mind right now?
I'm just happy it's over. You know, a lot of things leading up to today. You know, just a lot of things you can't control. You know, I mean, we're all human beings. So, you know, so we all have emotions and we all understand the magnitude of the moment. So my big thing is I just want to give our guys a good start. That's really what it comes down to. And, you know, I was fortunate enough to do that. And we're on the positive side tonight. We're going back to Cleveland.
John, it felt like a great team win tonight, not just on your part. Obviously, Aroldis Chapman goes above and beyond the call of duty. The defense was great behind you as well tonight. It felt like a complete win. Sometimes when the offense struggles a little bit, the pitching's got to do the job of picking up that offense, and I felt like that was the key to tonight's ballgame.
100%. We had a lot of good at-bats tonight. You know, one thing I will say, like coming over to the National League, you get to face the other guy, you know, so you understand why he's tough on our hitters and making us swing at bad pitches. So you get up there and you understand why Trevor Bauer's, you know, pretty good pitcher. So defense was great. Rossi was great. Offense got a couple early runs, which was huge for us. You know, I gave up the homer early on a pretty good pitch, but our guys never gave up. So that was big. That's just a huge, like you said, a huge team win for us going back to Cleveland with Jake on the mound. So I like where we're at. We're putting pressure on them. You know, the pressure's on them right now to close this thing out. And, you know, we really have nothing to lose. So we're going to go in there, we're going to play our butts off and see what happens.
Your thoughts on Chapman when he went in to do what they asked him to do? That's something he hasn't done before.
He hasn't done before. They said on TV, I think it was 2 1/3 was his longest outing. And, you know, I'm sure that was probably when he was younger and you know, didn't really have a role, you know. So that was huge. Playoff baseball make you see some crazy things and make you do some crazy things. And it's awesome to see guys pick each other up, you know. We have a lot of capable guys down there in that bullpen, and Chappie came in and ate some innings and ate some outs and threw some high leverage pitches and held us there. You know, that's awesome.
John, would you agree that games like this grow up some of these younger kids on this team? I know that we talk about that responsibility that, you know, it's on your shoulders and some of the other veterans on this team, but games like this grow up kids quick.
And they make me older.
Well, it's true, right? Make you lose your hair is what I tell him all the time.
Yeah, well, that was long ago past due for me on the hair loss. But, I mean, it's just, yeah, I think so. I mean, you're on this stage and you can't help but grow up. You know, you get put in situations. I mean, how about Javi tonight laying down a perfect bunt?
Beautiful.
You know, this guy's been struggling. He was the guy that got us here, and they've been making tough pitches to him, and this guy lays down a bunt in a huge time for us just to keep the line moving. Rossi comes up with a big sac fly right there. So, I mean, it seems like, you know, KB swinging the bat tonight, Riz again. It's just these guys never cease to amaze me. They show up every day. They play hard. They're way more mature than their birth certificate says, but it's just fun to be a part of this team. I mean, I think the big theme for our team is we never give up. We never quit, and we keep grinding away, and that showed tonight.
Appreciate your time. Are you available if they need you on Wednesday?
I think we're all available.
The rest of the way.
All means necessary. So, yeah, I mean, I don't know. I haven't talked to Joe. I don't know what the plan is, but we got a really capable guy down, going for us on Wednesday Tuesday and Wednesday.
Yep.
So
I'm with you. Wednesday.
Yeah, I like our chances. Like I said before, the guys in our bullpen have done a great job all year. So I don't want to take anything away from those guys by my presence being down there. But if they need me, I'll be available.
Appreciate your time.
Thanks, John.
Thanks, guys.
See ya.
There he is, John Lester. Ben Zobrist is speaking now in the clubhouse.
Sometimes that can be like a rejuvenating thing for a reliever that doesn't get at bats. It kind of pumps their adrenaline up a little bit more after already pitching almost 2 innings. I got to believe that having an at bat kind of probably helped him get a little bit more adrenaline going into the 9th.
Ben, obviously, you guys have been a confident bunch. You've been the same way the whole year, but going into Cleveland, just looking at your pitching matchups, kind of versus what they have, riding a little bit of momentum, do you feel pretty good about kind of the way it stacks up, at least on paper, right?
Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, we have to. I mean, we needed to win this one, and obviously Game 6 is it's anybody's game, and if we can win that one, then we feel really good about facing Kluber again. So. That's right now. We needed to swing the momentum in our favor going back there, and we were able to do that.
A lot of you guys talked about after facing Josh Tomlin the last time that you might have maybe got away from your approach and couldn't wait to see him another time, in a week. But what changes when you face a guy like Josh Tomlin the second time in a week?
I don't know. I mean, personally, my approach is probably fairly similar. I saw the ball pretty good off him and, pretty confident. But, I think some other guys, I don't know what they're going to do. They're probably going to change a few things up, I would guess.
On the stolen base attempt by Lindor, how difficult with the size that he had was what the guys actually executed, just getting the ball to the plate quickly, Ross with a quick release?
I didn't see how big the lead was. I was in left field, so I couldn't tell.
He was 18 feet or so off the bag. I mean, it wasn't...
Oh, really? That far? Yeah, I mean, it's impressive. Really impressive for Rossi. I mean, it's age-defying. Obviously he's still doing it. He could still do it if he wanted to. Probably for a long time, just that quick release and throw. He's got a gun down there and puts it on the money. And Javi's got the great tag. And I mean, that's how it happens. That's the only way it happens. I don't know if there's many other people that can do that in the league.
I mean, when you...
All right, time for our Clear Choice Dental Implant Center's Play of the Game Take 2. It was the home run that Chris Bryant hit that tied this ball game. And as Chris said, it was big for our team, but it was also big for him.
Well, and that's what I'll focus on. Listen, it certainly triggered a huge inning, a 3-run inning right there for the Cubs, and it definitely got things moving in the right direction. I'll speak to the personal side of it. Good to see that smile back on Chris's face. When you barrel up, Cappy, it's a big moment for a player. When you're struggling and you're not doing your part and you're feeling like you're letting the team down with every time you swing at a bad pitch and you walk back to the dugout, these moments, they get to you, especially here on the game's biggest stage. So what Chris did right there is he answers all those questions. He gets that smile back with one swing of the bat, turns 94 miles an hour around, barrels it up, and then all of a sudden that smile comes back. As I said to you earlier, I expect him to be huge in Game 6 and 7 because once you find that barrel again, you start to really believe that you're right where you need to be. Great balance, good swing, and he pulled it too.
All right, our Wrigleyville Sports winning box score, and this one belongs to the Cubs. Excuse me, the big blow, the Chris Bryant home run, the David Ross sac fly, the Anthony Rizzo hit. You had some real key hits in key spots.
Yeah, well, they grinded out. I mean, again, all the offense was done in the 4th inning, but there were definitely some moments there in the ballgame. Listen, 4 stolen bases, Cap. They tried a few different things. How about the Baez bunt? I thought John Lester made a great point. That was enormous, not just for for the team and for that inning and that rally that was going on, but for Javi Baez. You contribute right there. You were asking me why Jason Hayward wasn't bunting before that. I was saying maybe he should have been bunting just before that. But again, you look at these moments. Hayward gets a base hit his next time up, gets a couple stolen bases. You start to contribute. You start to feel like, all right, I'm starting to do my role in this lineup. And again, we still have a few guys that we want to get back online, but I thought there was a lot of positives coming out of this game.
And for a guy who's been struggling, Jason Hayward had a hit tonight. Jason Hayward stole 2 bases.
Right.
And Jason Hayward made a magnificent catch as he braced himself on the wall and then said, oh, that ball's coming back. and he made the play.
There were a lot of heroic moments tonight. You're right. Absolutely fantastic catch right there. That doesn't surprise me anymore. As a matter of fact, I'm to the point now where I expect it. Sorry, Jason, you are that good of a defender. I go out there every time I see the ball in the air, I expect him to make the catch. Ben Zobrist cuts off the ball in the corner. There were a lot of brilliant plays tonight. Chris Bryant had a couple of great plays over at third base as well. Addie Russell. Everybody had a moment here. When you play these games where the tension starts to grow with each pitch, and as the count changes, goes from 1-1 to 1-2 or to 2-1, and we all look at each other like, oh no, what's about ready to happen? These guys out here on the field, they feel it too, because there's a little extra pause in between these pitches, and they get the magnitude of what's going on. It raises the pressure, it raises the intensity out there, and again, all night long, our guys showed up and made plays.
All right, we've got to take a timeout. We have more to do, so don't go anywhere. You want the best coverage of what just transpired here at Wrigley? Keep it here. Cubs Postseason Live on CSN.
We asked a group of young people when they thought they should start saving for retirement. Then we asked some older people when they actually did start saving. This gap between when we should start saving and when we actually do is one of the reasons why too many of us aren't prepared for retirement.
Just start as early as you can. It's going to pay off in the future.
If we all start saving a little more today, we'll all be better prepared tomorrow.
Prudential. Bring your challenges.
Some things are simply impossible to ignore. The strikingly designed Lexus NX Turbo and Hybrid, the SUV that dares to go beyond utility. Lease the 2016 NX Turbo with zero due at signing for $429 a month for 36 months. See your Lexus dealer.
I want to eat apples and bananas. I need to eat apples and bananas. Why can't I eat?
1 in 5 children struggles with hunger in America. Support the Feeding America nationwide network of food banks to help provide meals to those in need. Join us at feedingamerica.org.
Here's 10 reasons to buy from Willowbrook Kia and Berwyn Kia.
You'll always be treated respectfully.
Preferred customer benefits.
Free courtesy transportation.
Extended service hours. On-site collision center. Over 500 new Kias in stock.
0.9% financing available on certified pre-owned Kias.
Value pricing.
Easy financing. Our low-pressure sales approach.
And that's just the start of all you get at Willowbrook and Berwyn Kia.
All right, who's hot and who's not? Brought to you by Four Seasons Heating, Air Conditioning, and Plumbing. How about hot Game 2 of the World Series? Jake Arrieta, 5 2/3 innings pitched, 2 hits, and 1 earned run allowed. Who's not in that game? Carlos Santana from Cleveland, 0 for 4, 2 strikeouts, and 2 left on base. Our UPS store taking care of business player of the game. This one's easy for me. It's Aroldis Chapman. He was phenomenal. Absolutely sensational.
Above and beyond the call of duty, comes in, what am I going to tell you, 102, 105 miles an hour tonight. You saw the velocity, you saw the intensity, you saw what he needed to be, and I think that's the most important thing that we all understand tonight. He was called upon to be extra special, extraordinary tonight, and he was all of those things with a smile on his face. I think there was some question there. You were asking me, I didn't even know how to tell you. I didn't know what the answer was in the ninth inning, other than your friend who told you that, he's going back out there for the ninth. I'm not sure you were 100% certain he was either. He was at 30 pitches, and it was uncharted territory. He goes back out there with a smile on his face and just dominates this Indians team. That's what you needed to see. It was a huge moment. Let's remember, it was a 1-run ball game the entire time he pitched. Boy, oh boy, did he deliver.
Yeah, and I also want to tip the cap to someone else who I thought was very valuable. You, the fans out there that were at this ball game.
They showed up tonight. Yes,
you guys showed up. You guys were ready. You guys were jacked. It was like, all right, all the pressure's off. We got to go out and find a way to win a baseball game. And I thought our crowd tonight was sensational.
Yeah, you put the pressure on the Indians. Man, you feel that as a player. Believe me, I've been in both types. I mean, it's fun when they're your fans. When it's not, it's hostile. I mean, it's not a fun place. I'm not talking just about our fans, but when you're the visiting player in an environment that gets it right. And tonight, we got it right, man. We were, from pitch 1 to the last out of this ball game, roaring, putting pressure on those Indians players and making sure they knew where they were.
All right, let's hear from Dexter Fowler in the Cubs clubhouse.
He came up big, man. 3 innings.
or two and 2/3. It's the last game of the season, we try to do what we can.
Pitching, hitting, defense, it seemed like everyone contributed tonight.
Yeah, it's all or nothing. The boys came out, got some key hits, got some runs. Lester pitched well. Bullpen came in and did their job.
How much fun was it to participate in something like that?
It's awesome. But we still got some work to do. We got 2 more games, and it's a step in the right direction.
Now, how good do you feel going back to Cleveland? You had Arrieta, we had that no-hit bid going into the 6th, and you're getting Schwarber back too.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we got some guys, some key contributors that are coming back, and we're happy to go over there and with the momentum.
You could feel the crowd was really in it all the way, didn't you?
Oh, for sure, from the beginning. We're playing at home. We had to get at least one at home.
Dex, the fans probably their blood pressure's through the roof tonight. What about the players as you're going through a game like that?
It's all or nothing. I think from the beginning your blood pressure is going to be high, and it's going to stay high. It probably won't be high. It probably won't be low until you to the end of the season. So.
Was this the best time in the party room that you've had this season?
Yeah, we always have fun, but we know the work's not over. We still got some work to do. I think the party room will be utilized when we win a World Series. So.
Next, when the Bryant hit that home run, did everybody start to relax after that? Somebody started streaking together.
I don't think anybody ever relaxed. We were pretty high strung, ready to go. We know it's 27 outs, so until the 27th out is recorded, we're not going to relax.
All right, got to grab another break. We'll come back. We still have more business to take care of. We'll look back at Holly's keys to the game when we come back. You're watching Cubs Postseason Live, winning style. Cubs get a W, and they're headed to Cleveland. We'll be right back on CSN.
Look at it, lads. New York City. Just doesn't get any better than this.
Actually, it does. With Grubhub, you can get the best foods delivered anywhere.
Gluten-free pad thai here for Seamus.
I am Seamus.
Gluten-free?
Yeah. Can't even taste the difference. Oh, you gotta lock up that front tire.
How's it going? Hi. Today we're going to be comparing the roll-form steel bed of the Chevy Silverado to the aluminum bed of this competitor's truck.
Awesome.
Let's see how the aluminum bed of this truck held up.
Wow. That's a good-sized puncture.
If you're aluminum now, you're going to go, ooh. Let's check out the Silverado steel bed. Wow.
Yeah, a couple dents.
I'd expect more dents.
It's Truck Month. Make a strong decision. Find your tag and get over $11,000 total value on this Silverado All-Star.
With a curved ultra-high-definition screen, Samsung's SUHD TVs give you a brighter picture and the most brilliant colors for the best viewing experience. It's Samsung's best TV, and it's here at Apt Electronics, available in screen sizes from 48 to 88 inches. Come see it today. Guaranteed low prices, unbeatable selection, and free local delivery. Apt, pleasing people since 1936.
Your home, your auto. Together, they're where life happens. That's why State Farm protects them together, to help life go right. Combine and save. Talk to a State Farm agent today.
All right, time for our keys recap brought to you by Blue Cross Blue Shield of Illinois. Our longtime sponsor here is Holly.
Yeah, make the necessary adjustments. Well, good enough. I didn't think that we were going to score 8 runs tonight. I thought maybe we would score 3 or 4, and thankfully it was good enough. Those necessary adjustments came in the 4th inning. I said to you, Cappy, I would be surprised if Bauer went a second time through the lineup, and you think Terry Francona wants to think maybe twice about that? You should have watched the pregame show, right? Nailed it. Yeah, you shouldn't have let the Cubs go at him a second time. They did. Home run, double, base hit, another base hit would follow. 5 hits in the inning. We scored 3 runs.
4 straight.
We made those necessary adjustments. Good to see right there. The stretch. Now, granted, we're going to have to keep this in mind. Again, if we talk to John Lester about it, he comes back in Game 7, you see him back out there. Rajai Davis, boy, they put some pressure on us with the running game. Now, granted, it didn't turn into just a ton of runs, but they were applying pressure with the stolen base, certainly with John Lester out there. I thought that might be a factor tonight. Yeah, listen, Kipnis tried to bunt one time, didn't work so much. And again, there was some squaring around, but not a whole lot of action in front of home. They applied the pressure on the bases, specifically with Rajai Davis. Keep your eye on that one. He can fly. He can fly. He can steal a base, and he did definitely put some pressure on us in this ball game tonight by stealing some bases, including third base as well. Win one moment at a time. I'll tell you what, there were a lot of one moments tonight, weren't there? With every pitch
cutting a ball off. Javi making a great catch and swipe tag to get Lindor on a stolen base. Riz with a couple of scoops.
Right.
How about the hit that drove in a run that Dexter dove for and scooped it off the ground? That ball gets by him. That's a triple.
I'll tell you what, it felt like from about the 5th inning on, every moment, winning every one of those moments was every pitch that was left in this ball game. I mean, the intensity right there. I told you, my heart felt like it was going to explode in the 9th inning, but just a lot of fun, and they won the moments. That's it. You know, playing out in front, when you have the lead, doesn't it make it a little easier?
And we call it, Holly, one batter, one pitch, one out at a time.
I guess we do.
That's exactly right. By the way, hey.
Oh, yeah, we got to do that, man. What's up with that?
Come on, man. Blow it up. Cubs get it done. And we'll be right back and wrap this show up, give you the pitching matchup and results of our poll question with a lot of votes coming in. Be right back.
This rusty mess isn't going anywhere. Don't trust it to just any cleaner. Trust CLR. CLR makes quick work of the toughest jobs, dissolving crusty white buildup so your shower runs like new. CLR cuts through hard water buildup and helps keep your washer running clean. CLR also earned the EPA's Safer Choice seal, so it's safer for your family. Trust the power of the CLR family and trust your clean to CLR. CLR is available at these fine retailers.
Four Seasons, how can we help you?
It's the furnace! The old pile of scraps burning through my savings! Hurry!
Remain calm, we're on our way.
24-hour repair and same-day installation. Four Seasons can replace your furnace for as little as $17.95. Furnace and AC combos from $36.95. And take advantage of 0% interest financing for 5 years.
For all the right reasons, call 866-4 Seasons.
We asked people to write down the things they love to do most on these balloons.
Travel with my daughter.
Roller derby?
Now, give up half of them.
Do I have to?
This is the tough financial choice we could face when we retire. But if we start saving even just 1% more of our annual income, we could keep doing all the things we love.
Prudential, bring your challenges.
This one has amazing gas mileage, but I think this one is more my style. But then again, maybe this one is more my style. What to do?
Now, you know, at Continental Motors, there's a 3-day exchange policy on all used cars.
Wow, 3 days, really?
Yeah, 124 hours.
No, 3 days is 72 hours.
Well, not if you're using the metric system.
No, still the same.
Even if you carry the...
72 hours.
So then 3 days.
Grab your phone and come check out our unbeatable online selection at ContinentalMotors.com.
All right, welcome back. Our final segment here on our Cubs Postseason Live postgame show. We'll be off to Cleveland tomorrow. Sports Talk Live will come live from Cleveland tomorrow. So we'll get you set for Game 6. Results of our poll question. Who was the Game 5 MVP? And the winner, 63% for Aroldis Chapman. So,
yeah, no surprise there.
No surprise whatsoever. So, again, he was outstanding tonight. He is our MVP of tonight's ball game, and your choice on our fan poll question. All right, pitching matchup is Josh Tomlin and Jake Arrieta. Tomlin was very good here the other night. Arrieta was very good in Game 2 in Cleveland. What do you think?
Well, it's the knowledge of each other that starts to play into this one. What can you do as a pitcher to change up your scheming, your game plan? Because hitters, I mean, you get vibes on guys. And again, these two teams are starting to know each other really, really well. 6 games in a row. They've seen Tomlin. They've seen Arrieta. What kind of adjustments are the hitters going to make? But it always helps. And the Indians have been doing a really good job of this, is changing their sequencing. So we'll see what Jake has to do. I don't think he's going to change a whole lot. He's going to be real aggressive with that fastball. But again, I loved our approach offensively, and I'm hoping that it will play into the Tomlin start in that he did throw a ton of breaking balls. I love the fact that a few of our guys shortened up. I'd like to say that's maybe a little bit more collective in Game 6 on Tuesday. But I did see improvements tonight from some of the guys. I love the Baez bunt. I thought some guys looked to put the ball in play and stay inside the ball. Addie Russell had a real nice game tonight, swinging the bat as well. So I thought that there was definitely some marked improvement, but it's going to have to show up in Game 6 again, Cappy. We're going to have to get some offense going. Remember, this is in Cleveland. They're going to be ready.
No, they are going to be ready. And again, Tomlin was good the other night, so you've got to find a way to attack him.
Well, yeah, and I'm just talking about the stadium, the effect. I mean, we've been watching.
It's going to be rocking.
Right. I mean, Cleveland, they've done a fantastic job supporting their team all season long. They've been even better in the postseason. They've been filling up Progressive Field. While all these games are going on here at Wrigley Field, the last 3, they've been packing it in at Progressive Field, watching it on the monitor, on the big screen. How about that?
All right, it's going to be a lot of fun. Holly and I will be out there starting tomorrow. And again, Sports Talk Live tomorrow afternoon. We'll have some guests for you, and we'll have a lot of fun previewing what should be an epic Game 6. See if the Cubs can find a way to win a baseball game and get it to Game 7. For Todd Hollingsworth, our awesome crew out here, I'm David Kaplan, and our great crew back at our offices in downtown Chicago. Have a wonderful evening. Cubs win. Series now 3-2 Cleveland. We're headed back to Cleveland tomorrow. We'll talk to you from there. Have a great night, everybody. Go Cubs.
Got to put something on the board right here. Here's one to the center. At the wall. It is gone. Tie game. High fly into right. Back at the wall. Into the ivy. That's a base hit to right. No play at the plate. Everybody's safe. 2-1. Comes on top. There he goes. Throw by Ross is in time. Inning over. David Ross. To the second baseman, Baez. Chapman out of trouble. It's the 30th of October. 2016. Struck him out. That will be a Game 6. Cubs win at 3-2.
Make sure he's in bed by 8.
Sometimes I get scared.
Scared of what, Danny?
The things I can't see.
Got a weird feeling. Almost forgot. In case anything happens.
Dad, I got this.
We started with the class-leading RX. We gave it paddle shifters to help you command the road. A sport mode to help you control the road. And a sport-tuned suspension to help you connect with the road. The Lexus RX F-Sport. This is the RX Elevated. Lease the 2016 RX 350 for $419 a month for 36 months. See your Lexus dealer.
Did you know slow internet can actually hold your business back? Say goodbye to slow downloads, slow backups, slow everything. Comcast Business offers blazing fast and reliable internet that's 10 times faster than slow internet from the phone company. Say hello to internet speeds up to 150 megabits per second. And add phone and TV for only $34.90 more a month. Call today. Comcast Business. Built for business.
Right now at Menards, all interior lighting and ceiling fans are 17% off with over 30 lighting collections on sale. The new Channing collection from Patriot Lighting features an oil-rubbed bronze finish. The mini pendant is only $19. The 5-light chandelier is $99. Or check out the steel collection from Patriot Lighting Elegant Home with a replica wood with antique black finish. This 4-light chandelier is $99. This 6-light island light is $134. Now during the Menard Day sale.
Save big money at Menards.
It's not easy talking about funeral expenses, but I didn't want to leave that financial burden to my family. If you're between the ages of 50 and 85, protect your family now with a policy from Final Expense Direct, like I did. The average funeral is over $8,300, leaving your family with a lot of costly bills. But for as little as $1 a day, Final Expense Direct has policies that help pay the cost of your funeral and other final expenses. You also get the Family Relief Guide that really helps plan your final wishes. There's no medical exam, even with a pre-existing condition. My rate will never increase, my benefits will never decrease, my policy can't be canceled, and there are no restrictions on how my family can use the money. With one call, you can be approved, like I was.
Call now for a free quote and get a free National Prescription Savings Card. Call 800-954-0207. 800-954-0207.
You've got to put something on the board right here. Here's one to the left center. At the wall. It is gone. Target. High fly into right. Back at the wall. Into the ivy. That's a base hit to right. No play. The plate. Everybody's safe. 2-1. Comes on top. Geiger. Strikes out. There he goes. Throw by Ross is in time. Inning over. David Ross. To the second baseman, Baez. Chapman out of trouble. It's the 30th of October. 2016. Struck him out. There will be a game 6. Cubs win at 3-2.
Hey, and welcome to SportsNet Central, presented by CLR. I'm Sierra Santos. Quite a night at Clark and Addison as the Cubs survive against the Indians and force a Game 6. We'll have wall-to-wall coverage from Wrigley Field. It's all ahead on SportsNet Central right now.
To SportsNet Central, presented by CLR.
Our drive to a championship is brought to you by Lexus. John Lester and the Cubs in survival mode. The veteran lefty trying to send the World Series back to Cleveland for Game 6, but the bats would have to wake up first. Leadoff man, Rajai Davis chasing, then Jason Kipnis swinging next. Francisco Lindor has several seats. Lester strikes out the side on 13 pitches, and Wrigley is pumped. Top 2, Lester gets some help from his defense. Carlos Santana pops one up right side. David Ross near the Indians dugout. He bobbles it, but Rizzo is there. Rizzo, so respectful, helping out his elders. Next batter, Jose Ramirez with 2 outs. Crushes one deep to left. That's way out of here. Ramirez's first homer of the postseason. 1-0 Indians. Top 3, more Cubs defense. Trevor Bauer flies one to right. Hayward over near the stands, jumps, makes a great catch. Hayward climbs the wall, somehow makes the play. We go to the bottom 4. Chris Bryant and the Cubs needing their star to step up.
You've got to put something on the board right here. Here's one to the left center.
Next up, KB gets the Cubs on the board, and the offense is sparked because Rizzo smokes one to right. That's over Brandon Geyer and off the ivy. Rizzo slides in with the double. Then Ben Zobrist rips a single to right. Gary Jones holds Rizzo at third. Cubs have ducks on the pond and nobody out. Russell already with a single, drops one to third. Rizzo scores. Everybody is safe. Cubs take the lead. First time this series the Cubs have had 3 straight hits. Baez, who struggled all series, simplifies his approach. He lays down a perfect bunt. No chance for Ramirez. That loads the bases for David Ross. Grandpa Rossi comes through with the sac fly to left. Zobrist scores easily. It's 3-1 Cubs. Top 5, Lester. Working his way out of some trouble, Santana lifts one to right center. That gets down. It's a leadoff double for Santana. 2 batters later, Geyer with Santana on third. Lester paints him on the outside corner. 2 down, then Roberto Perez grounds to short. Lester works around the double, allowing no runs. He is fired up. Top 6, Indians have something going again. Davis on first, and he takes off. Ross has no throw. Clean steal for Davis. Lindor up now. He lines one to center. Dexter Fowler tracking it, but can't make the play. Davis scores to pull the Tribe within a run. Then Lindor tries to steal. This time, Ross with a great throw, and Javi Baez with a tag. Baez makes it look so easy. Cubs limit the damage to 1 run, and that was it for Lester, who hugs Ross. Maybe the last time those two play together. Top 7 after a leadoff single by Mike Napoli. Joe Madden goes to his big gun. Aroldis Chapman 2 on. Chapman blows the heater by Ramirez. 2 down. Then he gets Perez to ground out to second. Chapman closes the door on Cleveland's threat. Bottom half. Cubs with a chance to add more runs. Zobrist with 2 on, but Cody Allen gets them to pop out to short. Cubs 3-2 and come up empty. Top 8th, Chapman gets himself into some trouble. Davis grounds to Rizzo, who makes a great play, but Chapman doesn't cover first. Major mental error by Chapman. And the always dangerous Lindor up with 2 outs and Davis on third. Chapman makes a perfect pitch. Lindor, he knows it. Chapman gets himself into the jam, works it out of it. We go to the 9th. Madden stays with Chapman against the heart of the Indians lineup. First, Mike Napoli. He grounds to short. Easy play for Russell. 1 down. Next, Carlos Santana. Chapman gets them to fly out to right. Hayward is underneath it. It's solid. 2 down. Crowd on their feet. Jose Ramirez, 0-2 count. Ball game. Cubs hold on. Force a game 6. 3-2 the final. So Aroldis Chapman with an 8-out save. Joe Madden catching a lot of flack on Twitter for bringing him in with 1 out in the 7th. Chapman's previous high for innings pitched was 2 1/3. It was this season on July 9th when he was with the Yankees, also against Cleveland. Meanwhile, Chris Bryant becomes the only Cub to have ever stolen a base and have a home run in a World Series game.
He came up big, man. 3 innings. Or 2 2/3. It's the last game of the season, you know. We try to do what we can.
Pitching, hitting, defense. It seemed like everyone contributed tonight.
Yeah, it's all or nothing. You know, the boys came out, got some key hits, got some runs. Lester pitched well. Bullpen came in and, you know, did their job.
How much fun was it to participate in something like that?
It's awesome. It's awesome, but we still got some work to do. We got 2 more games. And it's a step in the right direction.
Now, how good do you feel going back to Cleveland? You had Arrieta, you know, we had that no-hit bid going to the 6th, and you're getting Schwarber back too.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we got some guys, some key contributors that are coming back, and you know, we're happy to go over there and with the momentum.
You could feel the crowd was really in it all the way finishing.
Oh, for sure, from the beginning. You know, we're playing at home. We had to get at least 1 at home.
Dexter, the fans probably their blood pressure's through the roof tonight. What about the players as you're going through a game like that?
I mean, it's all or nothing. I think from the beginning your blood pressure is going to be high, and it's going to stay high. It probably won't be high. It probably won't be low until you to the end of the season. So.
Was this the best time in the party room that you've had this season?
Yeah, I mean, we always have fun, but we know the work's not over. We still got some work to do. I think the party room will be utilized when we win a World Series.
Gutsy,
told me his big cojones. So, you know, we need that. Obviously, we lose, we go home, but boys are feeling really good right now.
Were you surprised that he came in that early? Offensively, defensively, and pitching tonight?
We had the big inning, and we know we could always have an inning like that. Chris starting us off with the home run was beautiful, and us scoring and manufacturing a few more runs was nice there, and it paid dividends.
Can you talk about just what this game meant? Obviously, this is one of those games where it was literally a must-win game. We sometimes say it is, but this really was. You come through, you survive.
Oh yeah, that's what it's about. We leave it on the line. Whatever it took, whatever it takes. Chappie going out there for 6 innings and doing what he did, whatever it was. So Lester grinding his way through. It was big for us.
How do you do with that foul ball?
You know what? The ball was moving so much up there. It was swirling, and I just told him I couldn't even call it. That's how just focused I was on that ball. And there he's going for it until I call him off, and I kind of went mute on him. So good thing it worked out.
The fourth inning in Game 5 is huge for so many reasons. Check this out. The Cubs scored 3 runs in the fourth Sunday after they only managed 2 runs in their previous 25 innings. Also 5 hits in the inning while putting up a meager 13 over the past 2+ games. With more on the huge win, we send it out to Captain Holly at Wrigley.
Holly, a magnificent win for the Cubs. It was a nail-biter. It was as intense out here as it gets, and I'm sure in millions of homes around Chicagoland, people who are biting their nails, but that's a huge win.
Well, huge win. Well, we live to play another day, Cappy. It's plain and simple.
Live to fight again.
That's exactly right. We've got a trip to Cleveland to work out tomorrow as we make our way out there. I mean, we're excited. This is what it's all about. You found a way to win a baseball game. You know, so much made about the offense, how it needed to pick itself up. A lot of times, it's the pitching that picks you up when the offense is struggling. What an incredible job John Lester did tonight. How about Aroldis Chapman? Are you kidding me? Above and beyond the call of duty tonight. Electric stuff. Came out first pitch of the ball game. He throws to Ramirez with a runner in scoring position. A slider. How about it, right? Didn't see 103. Said, you know what? I'm going to diversify tonight. I'm going to use both my pitches. Came out, I think somewhat unexpectedly. Went 2 2/3 innings tonight. Just a brilliant performance from Chapman. I said in the pregame to you, we need Chapman to be like Miller. He did it tonight.
Well, it's funny. During the game, you and I are upstairs, and I run to the bathroom, and a member of the Cubs front office is in there as Chapman's coming in the game. And my response to him is, okay, who's going to pitch the ninth? He said, Joe met with Aroldis and said, what can I get out of you? He said, Joe, you push me as hard as you want. I can give you 3 innings. I can do this. He said, you're sure? He said, I can do this. And the guy from the front office, who will remain nameless, said, we're going to find out, but Joe thinks he can pull it off. And he did.
Well, and that's the encouraging part about this as we, soon we'll make our way to Cleveland. You know that you've got Aroldis Chapman, and you can use him that long.
That home run for Chris Bryant was just so massive, not only in the context of the game and tied the game, it was in the context of relaxing him.
Well, I think it was absolutely a great point. He relaxes. He comes through in a big moment right there, gives the team the lead. He takes a deep breath and said, you know what? There's the barrel of the bat. I found it again on a pitch that I can handle, a fastball in the zone, and he does damage right there. Great swing of the bat right there. Goes on, takes a big walk, steals a base. Good at bats tonight from Chris Bryant. I expect and would almost assume that it's going to carry right over into Game 6. Sometimes when you get that one, that felt like that one that gets you going.
And it's not just a bleeder single. You got a game-tying home run in the World
huge,
Series.
Absolutely huge. Great swing of the bat right there, and it was a big moment. Even though it was early in the ball game, I mean, it got you saw how everybody responded. He homers, base hit, or a double, base hit right after that. I mean, Bauer had been dealing, I think, surprisingly to many of us. Goes through the first 3 innings, just shredding up the Cubs, 5 strikeouts. And again, I think that's what actually got him into the 4th inning. So there you go, huge moment right there.
And plenty of celebrity reaction to the Cubs win on social media. Comedian Amy Schumer at the game and in uniform. John Cusack tweeted, Bedlam! First World Series home win since 45. Here we come. CSN's own Lance Briggs. Nothing but respect for Chapman. They put one hell of a load on his shoulders, yet he delivered. Chicago native Nick Offerman with a simple message. Oh, Chappie, and Bob Newhart. One thing I've learned in 80 years of being a Cub fan, you can never count the Cubbies out. We're not even close to being done with the Cubs yet. More reaction from Wrigley is around the corner. Jonathan Taves went 8 games without a goal to start the season. Could he get on the board against the Kings? And the Bulls have started their season with 2 straight wins. Even with all the roster turnover, hear why the new veterans aren't surprised at their success when SportsNet Central returns. Don't forget, later tonight, we will get you set for Monday Night Football with Bears pregame live on 6:30 on CSN+. Chris, Jim, Lance, and Alex will break down what the Bears needed to do to get back on the winning track against the Vikings. And as soon as the game goes final, flip over to CSN for Bears Postgame Live for all the reaction and analysis.
This rusty mess isn't going anywhere. Don't trust it to just any cleaner. Trust CLR. CLR makes quick work of the toughest jobs, dissolving crusty white buildup so your shower runs like new. CLR cuts through hard water buildup and helps keep your washer running clean. CLR also earned the EPA's Safer Choice seal, so it's safer for your family. Trust the power of the CLR family and trust your clean to CLR. CLR is available at these fine retailers.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you for your service.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you for your service.
This Veterans Day, participating Meinekes are offering a free oil change to the brave men and women who've served our country. It's a small way we can say thank you.
I really like what you're doing with this dream. I dream about finding this closet every night.
Try Realtor.com. It has more homes for sale than any other site.
I could find a closet like this.
Yeah, girlfriend. Dream home, find home, own home. Realtor.com.
Seven-time Pro Bowler Lance Briggs, and Tuesday nights just got a whole lot more interesting. Tune in for my take on our Bears every week, because no matter what happens, you know that I'm going to have something to say. Don't miss the Lance Briggs Show tomorrow at 11 on CSN Chicago.
Tonight, it's brother against brother as Robin Lopez and your Bulls hit NYC for a battle with Brooks Nets. Stream our coverage live on the NBC Sports app, starting at 6 with Bulls pregame live, presented by Coors Light on CSN.
We are back with our Al Piemonte Ford Drive of the Week, and we give it to Chris Bryant, whose solo homer in the 4th inning got the Cubs offense going. The bat scored 3 runs in that half inning, providing all the support John Lester needed. Cubs win Game 5, 3-2, and force a Game 6 Tuesday in Cleveland.
You've seen a lot of that during the course of the playoffs. It's something you can't normally do during the season without beating somebody up too badly. But I talked to Chappie before the game. He was aware of being ready in the 7th inning. So we had that all in play. Johnny did a great job. I just felt in talking to him that it was the right time to get him out. You know, he was pushing pretty hard there to get those outs with the base runners, etc. So before the game, it was my intention to use CJ as a bridge, if we can, to get to Chappie. And the Napoli-CJ matchup I like a lot, and it ends up being a single. But don't underestimate how important that play was that Zobrist made in left field, keeping him in single. A lot of times that would have turned into a double. That was a great play by Zoe. And then eventually we kept them from scoring. Chappie came in and done something I guess he's never done before. So yeah, there's all kinds of drama out there. When you have a guy like that that can pitch that many significant outs in the latter part of the game, it's pretty cool.
And all the way in the back to the right?
Hey, Joe, to follow that up.
Yeah. Yes, sir.
Was your mindset that it's Chapman 8 outs or bust?
Oh yeah, that's it was. That was our best opportunity. I thought right now, based on the bullpen usage recently, he's kind of fresh. He hasn't been overused in the last part of the season, nor throughout the playoffs. So again, with him, like a lot of relief pitchers, late inning relief pitchers, you want to talk in advance of the moment. We did. So he was definitely aware of what may happen tonight.
And right here in the center.
Phil.
Joe, when Bryant and Rizzo hit the Bauer fastballs back-to-back, was that the offensive epiphany you were looking
Yeah,
for?
I loved it, man. You can see what happened after that. They kind of put their pitcher on the ropes a little bit. We had better at-bats. We got our 3 runs. Yes, all that. That's kind of what happened in Los Angeles, where all of a sudden we got that one big blow. It's incredible what it does when you do that, what it does to your team and what it does to the opposition pitcher. It's just part of the game. So you have to be able to punch and counter punch all the time, and we were able to do that tonight. The 3 runs held up beautifully.
The Hawks back in action at the United Center, taking on the Kings. The captain, Jonathan Toews, had yet to record a goal in the first 8 games of the season, the second longest stretch of his career to start a season. But before Toews took the ice against the Kings, the Hawks held a pregame ceremony to honor Marian Hossa for his 500th career goal. Quite an accomplishment for the future Hall of Famer. Let's get back to Toews. Hawks on the power play, 7 minutes into the period. His wrister from the top of the circle beats Peter Budaj shoulder high. Toews on the board with his first goal of the season. 1-0 Hawks after the captain strikes. Later in the period, Hawks on a 4-minute man advantage. Patrick Kane alone on the doorstep, but his shot goes high of the net. Hawks still up a goal after a period. Early in the second, Richard Panik all alone in front, but he can't beat Budaj. 6 minutes in, Tyler Mott, nice through the Kings defense, but Budaj makes the big stop once again. 6.5 to play in the period. Off the Chicago takeaway, Hossa rushes the net and feeds Artem Anisimov for the goal. 7 straight games with a point for Anisimov. Hawks up 2-0. 5 minutes into the third, Nick Schmaltz comes up with the steal along the boards. He drives the net, but Budaj up to the challenge once again. So 2 minutes and some change left. Kings still down 2 goals. Kyle Clifford has a golden chance, but Corey Crawford slams the door. With just over a minute left, Marian Hossa bookends the night with an empty net goal. Corey Crawford records a 32-save shutout, his first shutout of the season as the Hawks win 3-0.
Well, it feels great. I mean, it's almost, thinking back to last season, not forgetting too quickly, the puck wasn't going in for me in the playoffs either. Still feel like I'm around the net. Just need a few bounces. Finally got one tonight. And I think whenever you get that result, it always gives you a lot of energy that you can use that confidence and go out and play the rest of the game better because you have that energy, you have that confidence, and everything just kind of flows a little bit better. So it's nice to get that first one. And, obviously, got to keep working on it.
Game 2 of the regular season. Bulls 1-0. Pacers have split 2 games. Rondo driving, scooping, scoring. The lead pass, Butler. This is how you play. There's Butler off the throw it to the rim and go get it, Jimmy Butler. Wade against Dallas. Stop it.
You're going to see the Bulls play this way, and they're going to play this way all season. Drive home safely, BB.
The new look Bulls look, well, pretty good through their first 2 games of the season. D. Wade and company cruised to a resounding 17-point win over the Pacers and led by as many as 29. However, even with a lot of roster turnover this season, the early success has not been a surprise to this Bulls team.
We've seen it in practice. We've worked very hard, in training camp. And the biggest thing is we got a lot of great guys in this locker room, guys that really want to get it together. We know that it takes time, but it's very, it's good to see it, this early in the season. And obviously, it's only 2 games and 2 games at home. So once you get on the road, you see how your game travels for sure. But I like the first 2 games of our team.
Because at the end of the day, it's basketball, and we've been putting in the work a lot. I don't think we've had maybe more than 1 or 2 days off this month. So so far so good, but we know we have a long way to go.
The Bulls get their first road test of the season on Halloween against the Nets. Bulls pregame live will get you started at 6 o'clock. Neil and Stacy have the call at 6:30. And Mark Shanowski, Will Perdue, and Kendall Gill break down all the action on Bulls Postgame Live. Plenty more to come on SportsNet Central. It was a tough choice for our play of the day with all the spectacular defense at Wrigley Field. We'll reveal our choice after this short timeout.
This rusty mess isn't going anywhere. Don't trust it to just any cleaner. Trust CLR. CLR makes quick work of the toughest jobs, dissolving crusty white buildup so your shower runs like new. CLR cuts through hard water buildup and helps keep your washer running clean. CLR also earned the EPA's Safer Choice seal, so it's safer for your family. Trust the power of the CLR family and trust your clean to CLR. CLR is available at these fine retailers.
An A235 operator interface. The XL Dual Flow Cyclomatic. Thing's a machine. Melzik 4000, LC30.
No one knows your business better than you.
Helical interpolation.
And even though we might not get exactly what every part of your business does, we understand that every part is important.
Hey, Mark. Over to the Elite Series 1000. This 90-degree pusher on, then onto the VB484. Look at that thing. Oh, I've got one more idea.
MB Financial Bank. MB means business.
The one who knows you like no one else. The one who is there for you, always. Lifelong bonds that make all the difference. The one who knows what you need when you need it, in sickness and in health. At Amita Health, we always put you first.
Now batting for the White Sox, center fielder number 34, Michael Denny.
At point guard for the Chicago Bulls, number 6, Shannon Kelly.
At the Bulls Sox Academy, we give each kid one mission. Dream it, train it, be it.
For the most Cubs coverage, go to csnchicago.com. Brought to you by Wintrust.
The play of the day is presented by Lexus. Back to Game 5 at the friendly confine, scoreless in the second. Carlos Santana pops one up behind the dish. Ball jumps out of David Ross's glove, then hits Anthony Rizzo's hand. The Cubs first baseman finally snags it with the leather. Cubs force a Game 6 in Cleveland, 3-2 the final. And Jake Arrieta is ready to roll in Game 6 on Tuesday.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not really gonna, expose everything or the way I'm really gonna attack those guys. I just want to execute with quality, in and out of the strike zone, and try and get ahead in the count as early and as often as I can. To open up some more options for myself. But it's just like any other game where you feel comfortable with the game plan and you go out there and do your best to follow through on the execution. Trying to be efficient, trying to be as good as I can about moving the ball in and out, up and down, and changing speeds, and trying to keep those guys off balance.
So Arrieta will face Josh Tomlin in Game 6 tomorrow night. Arrieta earned the win in Game 2 at Progressive Field, while Tomlin tossed 4 2/3 shutout innings in Game 3 at Wrigley. Kyle Hendricks will be on tap if the Cubs force a Game 7, and I'm sure all of Chicago is holding their breath for that. Thanks for joining us for SportsNet Central, presented by CLR. For all your sports news 24/7, stay logged on to csnchicago.com. For everyone here at CSN, have a safe and happy Halloween.